What's up, leather crafting amigos? My name is like Brian. What everybody not from California thinks I sound like. Jesus. Anyways, I'm here to answer your questions. Fuck. Oh man, I'm on a good one today, I swear. Maybe it's just this bang energy I drank. Alright, we got another round of questions. You can catch me on the gram right here. Or drop your comments below. We got another round of Instagram questions, folks. I'm not gonna waste any time. It's Friday, and I'm going home right after I film this video, and I'm gonna have an amazing evening and not think about work. So let's do this. Shay XO asks, what's the average time it takes from start to finish? I'm assuming, I kind of wish she had specified what item, because that would make this way easier. So instead, I've figured out like a handful of different items. With time, it's kind of hard to tell because everything can be so different. I've done belts where they're just like a strip of leather with a buckle, and I could do it in like 30 minutes. And I've also done some super crazy, super gnarly ones that take like 14, 15 hours. With that giant range in mind, on average, people usually go full floral with a little bit of customization. Belts, about 6 to 8 hours. Men's wallets, 5 to 7 hours. Women's wallets, about 7, 8, 9 hours sometimes. My bronc halter nose bands, probably like 5, 6 hours. My men's travel bags, those take about 7 to 9 hours, but it all depends. It all depends. Steven DLT asks, price for a custom belt? Super hard question to answer because my belts, like you just heard in the hourly thing, they range depending on what you want. So I've done belts anywhere between like 60 bucks, and I've done some crazy ass like 14, 15 hours into it. But if you're curious about pricing, get a hold of me. Do not message me on YouTube about doing business. Please just go to my website or my social media or something. Just ask. Give me all the info you got. I've even worked with budgets too, where it's like, hey, I got this much to spend. What can I get? And I go, boom, this is how I'm gonna stretch your money out to try and give you the coolest thing for the budget you have. That's the unnecessarily long answer. Dark Onyx Leather asks, my nice leather, when I wet it, it looks more purplish rather than a dark brown. What's that mean? Short answer.
Hey, he on X Games mode.
Long answer. I have no clue. Straight up, I've never even heard of that before. So, is it maybe not good leather? I've literally never heard of purple before. I'm also a little colorblind, so like sometimes tiny microscopic shifts in tone I might not see. So I don't think I've seen that before. Yeah, honestly, no clue. Sorry, bud. Hit me on the gram, send me a photo, and I can try and think about it. That sounds like it'll be an answer for Google though. Alexis Rodeo 13, shout out to Alexis, longtime customer, homegirl. Shouts out Alexis. Why did you start leathercraft, and has it become more important as you go? The reason why I started doing leather work, so it all starts with my brother. I had an older brother, Jason, he's the first person who got me introduced to leather. He had basically worked at the store in town called Norco Ranch Outfitters, where it's like a Western store. They sell clothes, saddles, horseshoes, all kinds of stuff, and they had a leather repairman in the back. The leather dude who was there had gotten basically super sick and just like stopped coming into work. And my brother was like, dude, I think I could punch a hole. And pretty much that's how it started for him. Then he just kind of figured out the basics. From there, he built his leather business, just grew it. He like hired me to like clean saddles and kind of do repairs and stuff like that. I did that all through high school, here and there, just when he would try and help me out with some money. Basically from there, I graduated high school and I just started working at his shop more and more. So basically decided I wasn't gonna finish going through college. I got 2 AAs and I decided to stop instead of pursuing like higher degrees. Long story short is me and him had a disagreement and I just decided to do my own thing. I tried to just take my leather career in its own direction. So that was a long fucking story. Sorry about that. But to answer the second part of your question, Is it more important as I go on? This is a super interesting question to me. I would say it stays about the same because when I was just starting my own business, I had to start at like ground zero. I had to figure that shit out fast and figure out how to get money coming in. Literally just be able to survive off of making leather. So it was like life or death. Whereas now I have more bills. I got more stuff to do, and there's a bigger kind of consequences. Like I got an employee I got to worry about. I got, my own place. I got car payments. I got to worry about this shop I got to pay for. So there's a lot of obligations, and it's weird because I know confidently I could survive, but it's all the other things and all my other obligations that I don't want to like let other people down. I don't want to be so tied down to my job that I can't spend quality time with friends and family and stuff like that. So even though it is not as life and death, it will always be the most important thing. For the most part, this business and the career I chose is kind of a symbol of the tool or the rocket ship or the giant sailboat that's going to get me and my family through the future. So I don't take it lightly. Thank you, Alexis. Deep question. You got me pondering life and the universe and shit. Summer Fanning asks, this is kind of the same question, but it's different enough. It says, how do you get your business started? Which I pretty much went over from just working in my brother's shop. I had like accumulated a little bit of tools, just enough to get started. Basically bought a hide and some thread and some stain, and I just started making super shitty pieces. I sold one, put all that money back into supplies, and just started a business. No secrets. You just kind of got to start. And then the second part of that is, how did I decide that it was for me? I didn't know it was for me until after I even started. I am definitely always been an artist. I've like drawn ever since I was a kid. So doing something artistic is definitely something that I wanted to do. It wasn't till a handful of months in I realized that I really like the act of like making things. Like I'm not artistic enough to just do art, but I'm too artistic just to like do construction. So it's like where art and construction meet is like craftsmanship, and that's just it's just natural. I don't know, you gotta just be positive. I don't know. I hope that was concise. This is getting out of hand. It's almost done, you guys, I promise. One last question. Isate asks, what's one piece you want to make? So I want to make all kinds of shit. To be honest, I've been really, really, really thinking about doing like some tooling on some furniture, and that's all I want to give you guys, but it exists, and you're probably gonna go Google it because it sounds cool as fuck. I know, that's why I want to get into it, because it is cool as fuck. So more furniture stuff and like stuff for like people's homes. One thing I really enjoy about when I make a wallet for somebody, like they're gonna put that thing in their back pocket every single day until that wallet falls apart. The idea of like somebody using your wallet every day for like this extended period of time to be involved in a person's life is like a really cool part about my job. So I think doing more furniture, like that'll be really tight to like think about. Like I did this piece of furniture in this person's like living room. They're gonna like raise a family in, and they're gonna make all those memories around that piece of furniture, like whether it be a couch, a chair. I think that would be really, really tight. So more home stuff for sure. That's what I'm really excited to kind of focus on this year. I have some stuff in the books planned out to explore these things. But boom, that's a wrap. I had a really fun time answering your questions today. Got very wormholey, and I apologize. If you've watched this far, you're a psychopath. Why are you listening to me? I'm just kidding. I appreciate it. I'm kind of funny. I know it's kind of true. I kind of make people laugh sometimes, and you either have turned this off because I'm doing this, or you're still kind of laughing at it. And you people are still laughing at it. You're my kind of people. Thanks for watching. I appreciate it. I'm on a good one. I'm going home. I'm gonna have a great evening. And I hope you do the same. You should probably click the subscribe button on my channel and close the fuck out of YouTube and get off your device and go spend some time in the real world. Peace.